What's up, mini truckers? Ben here, the US Mini Trucks. We got the little Honda Acty Attack. We're gonna do a walk around. This has got a 3-cylinder 660cc engine, and it's a rear mount, so the engine that sits under here. There's really no other access. Look, the Subaru has the fold down thing. The Suzuki, Mitsubishi, and Daihatsu have more of a mid engine, and it's up here. And then you kind of access it, you can lift the seat bottom. But we're just focused on this little blue one. Really clean. You know, it's funny because I was talking to a guy, and the blue is really hard to touch up. So this is actually the factory color. It's called PB70. And somebody in Japan was like, oh, well, let me use this nail polish. So they got some blue. I tried to do that too, and I got like 4 different blues. I went to like Home Depot and Lowe's and shopped all around. But you really just have to, there's the color there. The one problem I found, like even when you put it brand new, you know, you're putting it on a 25-year-old oxidized truck. So fortunately this one actually had that bed liner. I'm looking over there because the truck was here, but it had a bed liner in here, and this is, it looks like original paint. I didn't clean under the bed liner. I took that headache rack off and painted it black, so that's kind of cool. And then this one has some mud and snow tires, so pretty good for street, but it doesn't give you any lift or anything. It's got the battery cover. I think this one got a new overflow reservoir as well, and it's got the spare. You'll have to look at the pictures on the engine bay on the internet. Super clean. I didn't do this, but I noticed it had some overspray here, some black. I'm not sure. Probably the wiper blades. A little bit of yellowing in those headlights. Pretty clear though, I mean, but if we're gonna nitpick, let's see. A couple little depressions. There's one there. Quite a few actually. Kind of like a line right there. No real major rust. It's got nothing going on here. The worst spots were like the hinges, where you just pretty much always see that. Here at the bottom of the bed, here on that part. Kind of zoom back so you can see the whole rear end. Look how clean that muffler is though. Like the metal is just really overall good shape. So you got somewhere people are using it, you know, taking stuff in and out of the bed. But overall, it's a really good example. It's got these little rubber pieces still attached. You see a lot of them where they're missing, or one is there. Some great Japanese touch-up work. That's what sometimes people will come and they're like, man, you couldn't do a better job. And I'm like, dude, I didn't do that. I mean, I'm no paint expert, but I haven't done anything. I did have a little can of that PB70 where I like touched up a few spots, but I had a tiny can and ran out pretty quick. I'm gonna try to crawl up underneath there. Let me see, I have to zoom in to be able to put the light on. But this one's so clean underneath. And then that engine bay is super clean. Yeah, I didn't do this. Oh man, it's too zoomed in when I have to do this. Let me zoom back out. I mean, I didn't do that touch-up paint, so I don't know if that's original. I've seen some where they have like an undercoating, but usually everything is sprayed, so you can see like a lot of the stuff not sprayed. I think that's just original. You can see like the little steering fork. And then we'll climb back to the middle. There's the CV boot and all that. probably put the light back on here. Just help us see. Oh. Let me see. A little bit out. Yeah, look at this. Super clean. There's your fuel pump. Fuel filter. That little aux fan on the new one. And then here's that engine compartment area. And we'll keep going to the back. Okay. And then, yeah, look at this rear axle. It's really clean. I mean, minus the dirt. This is like just dirt from my place where it's rained and bounced it up. Like, look at that shock. Super clean. I mean, some of the stuff got like a little surface rust here, but when I pulled this engine cover off, it's all immaculate. I was just like, holy smokes. Starts up, runs real good. There's the fuel tank. Oh yeah, look at that. It's got a big streak there. So it's got these sun visors. These are kind of nice. Some dust on the glass. This one had both interior seats, so like that's the original one, and then the driver one was a little bit crusty, or it had like a rip in it. And so we took that out and got it reupholstered. This is a 95 model with 47,424. You've got a little bit of wear here and here where people had their heel. And then I think we put that little clutch pedal stopper. That's something I do. And then it has one for the brake already. And then this is an Attack model. And the switch works. The middle position will work with the door switch. Let's see how that works if I jiggle the little lever here. You can see this one. It don't work either. Yeah, I mean, there it is. So that's what the door. You can get them. I've had them. Like if you own this, you could probably open that up and bend the prongs back. So you can see I'm doing it with the door. So that's pretty cool. Let's get this bad boy started. It's cold over here. It was in the 30s this morning. Put the heat. Put on foot mode and just get her. So it starts up. It's gonna go into this cold idle. There's some directions for the ultra low crawling gear. Okay, you shift it like normal, and the fact like that would be your first, and this would be your second. You can see there first and second. So to get to the ultra low crawling gear, you have to hit this little lever, or pull the lever up, and then it throws it over into this crawling gear. Definitely for the mountains. You know, I used to live in Houston, and I would kind of hype up the crawling gear, but you don't really ever use it. But here in the mountains, I mean, you go straight up, you go straight down. I have a Jeep that I put big tires on, and like the gearing is all messed up now. So it's nice to have the flexibility of the additional gears, and it doesn't really hurt it. So now I'm just in ultra low, and you could just, you know, drive around like this and keep from having to work the clutch too much. You know, sometimes you have to really modulate the clutch going up or down. No engine lights. You've got the warning for the parking brake, and then like I said, the newer ones, they have this seatbelt thing, so you've got to keep that on. It's got a rear bed work light, so we can go take a look at that, and then we'll take a look at the headlights and we'll let it warm up a little. A lot of times I'll leave the lights on when I'm letting them warm them up, just so there's like a little load on the engine. Man, this thing got dirty. And then you may see on these cold days the smoke come out of the exhaust, like there's water coming out. But this is the light. We put our little sticker. This is pretty cool. It's a safety car. I think that's like a AAA in Japan. But yeah, look how clean this thing is. We'll let it warm up. Put the blower on. Turn some of the stuff off. And so to activate the rear diff lock, you just hit this button, and then it only works in the ultra low crawling gears. And so sometimes you'll have to be moving forward a little bit to be able to get it to engage. But we'll let it run a little bit. I've got the heat on, and it's probably better to keep it off until it's actually warmed up. So there's your diff lock engagement. I thought it worked in the regular reverse. Let me see. So it kicks it out when you put it in gear, but I put it back in. So this, it doesn't work in reverse. It only works in the ultra low and the ultra low reverse. So we'll see. Man, I almost hit my little tire changing tool. Let's see if that radio does anything in this bad boy. Here we go. So this lady's talking about something. And then we lift this up. You've got a jack, the overflow reservoir, and it's missing a little tool baggie, but you can see the spare tire, the jack tool's there, right in this mount where it should be. You've got a little storage there. Storage up under here, some of the records, and then pretty much it. Headliner looks good, smells good in here. Diff lock, we can use the diff lock here in the gravel. Yeah, you can hear that thing. So hopefully that helps, and write down in the comments if you have any other questions. Yeah, look at this. So like the cover is here. These are missing so much I didn't even know that it was there a lot of time. But yeah, the body and the seats were kind of ratty. So like this seat, I mean, for as clean as like the engine bay, and then for the low miles, so it must have been done something, you know, where they just went back and forth, because people were definitely getting in and out. You can see the wear on, like, obviously the driver's seat. Like that white one you saw in the previous video had more miles, but it had the original interior, where this one has less miles, but the interior kind of ratty. I see this antenna's broken, but you saw it's still getting, all it has is an AM radio, so that's something to not really worry too much about. And then I'll show you the wiper blades. So if you saw how they worked in that white one, this is how they're supposed to work. The mist still doesn't work, but when you put it on low, it should go. And then when we turn it off, even if you're like in the middle of a sequence, it'll come back down. So in the previous video you saw we had a white one, and the wiper blades would only go, would just stop wherever you flipped a switch. Yeah, get it out here in the light. We'll do a couple revs with this one. I did that pink style, trying to do like a 80s retro kind of 90s LA type what's that one thing, like California games. So really good overall. The glasses, no cracks or anything. Mirrors in good shape. Side windows. Just another low mile, great example of Japanese mini truck. I'm gonna do a couple revs. They're doing construction next door. We'll do. Get that water temperature warmed up. Pedal cart coming up. I kind of felt the heat when it was on. Yeah, listen how quiet it is now. It's still not even fully warmed up. Once it gets the gauge showing, it'll get warmer. So hopefully this helps. Hit that like or subscribe. I'm gonna try to get warmed up and maybe head back inside. So let me know on this one, and hit that like or subscribe if you like the Acty Attacks. You do lose a 5th gear, so if you're wanting to use it for street use, this is really not the good one, because you, instead of like 70 top speed, you're more like 55. So, you know, you give up that, but I'd rather have this one for how I would want to use it. Okay, take it easy, stay mini, peace.